Were you your own manager throughout your career?
Part of it, but I had a manager during that time. But I was his only MMA guy. He kind of came from the a lot of baseball, football guys that he managed.
Talk about Pride. You remember they used to give us cash money?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I missed that.
You guys both light up.
Oh yeah.
No, that's why I say I relate myself to a stripper, because when I first started fighting in Pride, I was thinking I was only going to do it for a year because I had just finished wrestling, and I was going to go to chiropractic school. Actually, I was accepted, then put it off for 4 years, but then I started fighting. So then I was like, well, I'll fight and make some money for about a year. And that was when I first got to Pride. And then they paid you in cash, and I'm like, man, that cash is kind of hard to walk away from. So I'm like a stripper that thinks she's only going to do it for a year, and she's still doing it when she's 46. That was me.
It's like the cash thing. Like, you go overseas, you beat someone up, you get a bag full of cash, you come back home. Like, it must have been an insane feeling.
Yeah, man. But back then, those guys, they was making a grip. Pride was ripping me off. I didn't find out I was getting ripped off until I started hanging around Heath Herring. He told me, like, he asked me, we couldn't tell each other how much we got paid in our contracts. We wasn't supposed to talk about our money. And Heath Herring asked me, he said, yo, how much money you getting paid? I'm like, man, I can't tell you that. He said, come on, man, tell me. And I told him, like, you getting fucked. I was like, I was like, how much you getting paid? He said, I can't tell you.
Was it hard doing like the negotiations with UFC to get what you wanted? Because you were such a legendary name. I'm surprised they would want to let you go back then.
They just have their thoughts on certain things and don't think people are worth what they think they are, which happens a lot too. But it was when I was my contract ended when I knocked out Bisbing. So that was the last fight on my contract, and so it was a good timing for me to have to negotiate, and they said no. And,
wow.
I said, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was asking them for the amount I was asking them for was combined with possible pay-per-views, which is a question mark on how much you'd make on that, and it was an estimate of so much per fight I would get. And I went to Strikeforce, and they just gave me, win or lose, that amount. Wow. No matter what. So I was like, it's a done deal.
Yeah. I think the fans and people don't understand, our first fight is with the promoter. They always want to get you for the cheapest they can get you, and we want the most that we can get.
Yeah, of course. Without you guys, there's no fight.
Right.
Yeah. Without you guys, there is no pay-per-view.
Right.
And you guys had the most legendary names back then. Now, I don't think too many of these guys can demand that type of money since there's so many names and so many fights. But back then, like, if you guys were fighting, I mean, the world stopped for the night, everybody watched. You guys were setting precedent and building the entire empire for them.